What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Real Deal Sports. Usual guys are here. Myself, Big Walt, Brother John. Gentlemen, how are you all doing?
I'm real good, man. Real good. It's been too long since we talked anything, and it's like, what do we talk about? There's so much going on, But we got a special show today.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Feeling good. I was
You
about to
know
say,
what, guys? Go ahead, Walt. What you got?
oh no, I was just about to because he was talking about Otani. I was about to say your boy Otani up right now.
Oh yeah, is that bad?
Yeah.
All right,
John
well,
just hope,
I need him to bring me some money. So come on, no time.
John just hope he get traded to St. Louis, but that's story for another day.
I was about to say,
He don't need that now.
Hey man,
pretty good this year.
that team. I don't understand what it is about the Angels, man. The names they've had on that roster are all time greats for the last 10 so years, and yet somehow they're every year they just don't not in the playoffs. It's crazy. I don't know how it happens. It's almost like the Lakers.
Damn.
I was about to say pump your brakes. Relax.
But it ain't 10 years. If it happened for 10 years, it would be a problem.
Very true.
It's
But
just
since,
started happening with the Lakers.
but since we are on the subject of the NBA, Luka is seemingly uninterested in recruiting free agents to Dallas. Um, Guys, I'm gonna ask you this: is this a good thing or bad thing for Dallas long term? We're gonna start with you, Walt.
I won't necessarily say it's a bad thing. I mean, I feel like it's just Luka pretty much staying in his own lane, honestly. I mean, his job is pretty much just to come there and hoop, honestly, if you like how KD would say it. But I mean, it's really not, his job. I don't think that's really his interest, like you said, him trying to recruit others, because I feel like he feels like he doesn't need anybody, to help, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like he just at the point like, hey, whoever y'all bring in is whoever y'all bring in, because obviously he can get the job done with, depending. He can get the job done depending on the type of talent that he has there. Because I mean, he had Jalen Bronson last year. He had Tim Hardaway Jr. Even though I think he was hurt last year. So I mean, the players that he has now, I mean, he's shown that he can pretty much carry them to the playoffs. But I still do feel like they do need another piece, to make that next step into the championship. So he could probably get you to the Western Conference Finals, but I don't think that's. I think that's probably about as far as they can get without another superstar. So.
What you got on it, John?
It seems like the more I think about it, though, it only seems like really two players in the NBA recruit, KD and LeBron. Like, honestly, like no one else is really like bringing 3-4 players to one team. You know what I mean? Like the Celtics were like the last group of like all-stars, and I guess you could say superstars, but I mean, none of them were, winning a ton of titles at the time when they joined up. So I don't know if I'd put them in superstar status. So, it seemed like they were the last group that put together a team, because I don't think Golden State recruited KD. Like he begged to go there. Like he got
a little bit of both. They
said they said when he got on his knees and said, "Please take me," and they said, "I mean, KD."
No,
they said you ain't got. They said you ain't got to do all that.
No, you ain't never heard the story about Draymond going to the parking lot and calling him.
Yeah, I was about to say Draymond. I think Clay. They all have like a meeting or whatever together with KD, trying to recruit him. Whatever.
Let's see. That was in what? The end of the finals, end of the playoffs.
You called KD
in June. I'm sorry, Kevin Durant had already met with the Warriors back in February. We like everyone knows this now. It's out there. Like he'd already met with the Warriors back in February. Before the Thunder even played them, he was already talking to them about going there. No, this is all it's all out in the open now. Everyone knows. So no, this guy begged to go there. And honestly, Draymond, all right, sure. If we're talking about Draymond being the recruiter, sure, that would be like Ron Artest trying to recruit people to the Lakers.
No,
I mean, come on,
it won't.
Stop. I ain't reading
You gotta stop.
No, stop it. It wasn't like Pau Gasol or Kobe. It was like if sure, okay, fine. Ron Artest tried to recruit KD. Sure, well, all right, whatever. Anyways,
boy, you something.
So I'm just saying, like KD has recruited people. LeBron has recruited people. Like most of the players in the league really aren't big time recruiters. So I don't have a problem with this. But I also think that Dallas has told him, like, listen, we're going to put in the work. We are going to get you the guys to win championships. Now, Brunson left, and if they do need another piece to come step in, they can't just go with him and Christian Wood. They do need something. So, if it does come to that, I do think he needs to be willing to recruit. But I don't think the pressure on him is to recruit yet. I think Dallas still has a lot of money sitting there that they can spend. They got, Christian Wood on a good deal. He's not going to kill their cap. So I think Dallas is fine. I think as soon as they do the GMing work, and then if they're still short a piece, then yeah, Luka's got to step in. But I think they're fine as it is.
And that's another thing. I was about to say, I don't think Luka really needs to have any, partake in this anyway, because I feel like, Mark Cuban and the owners already do a good job of, somewhat recruiting and, bringing in, free agencies or whatever they need to do to make sure that the Mavericks are still a top tier team, I should say. So
yeah. I agree. You got to recruit, bro, because you got to get something. You got to get somebody, because when it came down to it this past year, it was you and Bronson. You got to get some more scoring. Christian Woods, remains to be seen. How he looks this season, or when things get tight. Can he be that Jalen Bronson for you? I think, one thing he should have did was recruited Bronson to stay in Dallas. Why would you let go pretty much your best second option?
I don't think they had a choice. Jalen made up. We talked about this last week. Jalen, he had his mind made up, man. He was going to play with.
Yeah, but you at least make an effort.
They did. They said he never gave him a shot.
But who's to say Luka couldn't have been, the negotiator in that?
So if they pulled a DeAndre or Jordan and they locked him up in his house, sure, maybe Luka could pull something like that. But I mean, like I said, I think.
But if you just ain't trying, did you try?
I just don't think Dallas is done. I don't think they're done making moves. I think we're still going to see a blockbuster move from Dallas before the season starts, before the training camp starts.
And you got to be honest with yourself. Dallas has never been really a destination for people that, like, it has never been like, hey, Dallas is the place to be. Even when Dirk was there, I don't know why, because, Mark Cuban, seems like one of the best owners in the game and sports in general. So it's like, what's the problem? Is it just not an attractive place to live? Is Texas too hot? Like, what is it? Because they have never been like a destination for superstars.
Yeah, but they were also like known for like not like overlooking people. You know what I mean? Like they overlooked their need for Steve Nash. They overlooked their need for Tyson Chandler. Like same way OKC overlooked their need for James Harden. Like they overlooked certain key pieces, and so Dallas has definitely had mistakes gymming in the past, but I really do think they're going to get taken care of this year, because jumping on that Christian Wood thing, the first move of the season out of anybody before the finals were even ended, they had already signed Christian Wood. So I mean, they hadn't even. I really do think that Dallas is not done, and I think we're going to see them make moves. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know. Maybe Kyrie. Who knows? Because he's kind of like Jalen Brunson in the way he plays. Also, hey, it's Dallas. You ain't got to get vaccinated. You know what I mean? Like it's a perfect place for Kyrie. So, we'll see who they go for. But, I do think they're going to still make a big move. I don't think they're done. But, yeah, I'll say if training camp comes and they still haven't made a move, then, yeah, I think Luka needs to be willing to step up and maybe try to recruit by that point.
Right. Just put that bug in somebody's ear.
But I give him till training camp.
But let's be real. It's only so much that Luka can say. I mean, Luka's only been in the league for a few years. I mean, I don't really say that he has that much, clout in the league yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the dude is great, but I mean, for him to actually recruit, and they'd be like, I can go play with Luka or something. I just don't really feel like he has that type of, reputation yet anyway. So just, let the front office do their job. You can continue to keep balling out, improving each year, and you know what I'm saying, it's gonna come your way eventually. Something gonna come your way eventually. And like John said, they still got plenty of time to make moves in the offseason anyway. So
We're gonna see.
I agree.
No, it's just funny because Dallas has never been like a destination for players. So it will be interesting for them to.
That's facts.
All of a
I
sudden,
can't really name a really star player that they had other than Dirk and Luka. I mean, a majority of
and a lot of the players that they did have that was great. They drafted.
But
yeah,
other than
California, great role players or something like that.
Other than California and like New York and stuff like that, like Boston, like no place has really been a place that's like been great at recruiting. Like they've all gotten a guy here or a guy there.
I think you can say that about Miami, though. You know,
well, I mean,
during LeBron, well, no, really, Shaq, LeBron, Bosh, Jimmy. Now, you know.
I mean, Jimmy didn't have a home though, and Miami wasn't just going to go. Miami's not a rebuild type of a team.
But they recruited him. They recruited him there. You know, I think Dwayne Wade had something to do with that. But I
agree, but I am huge on Jimmy Butler. But when he went to Miami, I was like roasting people over and over, and I was getting roasted because I stuck up for him because people were saying he wasn't even top 25 when he went to Miami, and I said, y'all sleeping on this guy if that's the case. Like, we look at him now and be like, oh, yeah, Jimmy Butler. Yeah, definitely. But, like, when he went to Miami and left Philly, they're like, man, no one wants this guy. He probably won't even be in the league in a couple years. Like, that was the talk about him. He couldn't shoot threes. He still can't. But, I mean, I'm saying, like, the talk about Jimmy when he went to Miami was not top, like, all-star. He wasn't an all-star. He wasn't making all-star games. He wasn't, none of that stuff. So, when he went to Miami, like, he wasn't all that in the news like he is now after going to 2 conference finals.
But no, you can't say that because he had success. He had success.
I agree he was having success, which is why I was wondering why people were so critical of him.
I feel like people were probably more critical of him just because of how much he was moving around. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's where the majority of the criticism
was that really him or was?
But I'm just saying, like,
at the end of the day, we won't know because I mean we don't know what's going on inside that was going on inside of those organizations and what was going on with Jimmy Butler at the time. So I mean,
but yeah, I mean, other than that one big thing where they got LeBron and Bosh, like, okay, sure, they got Shaq in like his 50th season, sure, but like, they haven't. Other than that one time, they really have. I'm just saying, there's no city that's just been magnet like for pulling players like LA or Boston and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, anywhere LeBron go, he got that
right.
So
yeah, right. I mean, right, because that's the case.
Honest, he's only been 3 places.
Right, but we're gonna count
Cleveland. Time he's bought him a championship though. Where he's went.
We're gonna count Cleveland because they attracted LeBron and Kevin Love back.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they're not like a powerhouse that draws people. That was a one-off, and I think Miami has had like 2 or 3 one-offs, but nothing like LA or Boston. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll say it like this: in recent years, Miami seems like the place people want to go. Just recent, from Shaq to now, seems like Miami's the place people want to go. But on to the next. Staying in the association, Adam Silver speaks out against Kevin Durant's decision to be traded. Now, I see nothing wrong with it because he made some great points. And, I think with a lot of this guaranteed money, a lot of these players, they got too much leeway. Hey, I say get your money. But Kyrie taking off for, January 6th, storm of the Capitol is like, how does that concern you? Play the game. Play the game. We're paying you to play. I didn't see a problem with what Adam Silver said, in his statement. But we're gonna start with you, John. What you think?
I think a lot of it has to do with the way KD reportedly handled it. Like, reportedly, he went to the Nets and was like, if you don't trade me, I'm gonna end out my contract in a year or so, and you ain't gonna get nothing for me. I'm like, if he really said all that, then like I can see why like Adam Silver would get defensive of one of his teams because like a player's acting like he can hold the team hostage. If that were really said, I don't know. But it's just the fact that he went there, he dragged all these players out there. This team is done, man. Like, I hope Joe Harris is back 100%, because if Joe Harris is back, I think this is still a playoff team without Kevin Durant and Kyrie. But they're bottom. They're probably where they were last year, probably about the 7 or 8 seed. But but it's not going to be like this team is a playoff team. It's going to be like they're 7 or 8, but they're for sure bounced in the first. Whereas last year we all thought, you know what, they even as the 7 seed or the 8 seed, like this team can still pull it out, and do something. But so I think it's the way KD handled it. He didn't honor the contract. The first sight of trouble, he bailed. The first season, he was cleared to come back and play in the bubble and refused to. And, he didn't want to. And then, so it's just the way he's handled the contract that I think, like, this was a team that was building. They had pieces. They had a lot of young talent that was growing. And a couple years later now, they're about to lose the last of everything, other than Joe Harris, really. He's the last piece there. So I just think it looks like a team got held hostage by one player. And Adam Silver is all about the players, and it's a players' league. It's not a team league. But when a player's usurping that much power over a franchise, like, it's a bad look. It's a bad look for the whole league. So I can understand why he's saying these things.
Go ahead, Walt.
I guess I kind of, agree with Mr. Silver. I feel like his point of view, he was just pretty much talking more of the fact of how KD is, like John was saying, he was just how the way he's handling his contract. We all know, like, KD, he says he always want to do is just play or whatever. But honestly, at the end of the day, we all know what you want to play, but you putting this team together and handling the contract and stuff like that, how you've been handling it has been the wrong way of handling things, I should say. Mm-hmm. So, honestly, it's when, like I said, when Adam Silver talks, I listen, man, because he barely talks. Let's be real. I barely hear Adam Silver, talk to the media or anything unless, something major is going on. So,
and it's hardly ever critical. Like, this, right, this is like a right. This is
for him to come out, and say something. He really feels some type of way about this. So, I get it. I see why he's upset. Because, like you said, that's pretty much one of your, star power, guys as well that's in the league right now. Giannis, Luka, LeBron, Curry, and KD. So to have, one of those guys, top tier guys, keep wanting to, I guess change scenery, I should say, it does become a little tough. And then, like he said, it just kind of makes it's a bad look for KD. The fact that you just left, OKC. Now you left the Warriors on a bad term, and now you trying to leave the Nets, on a bad term as well. So, like John was saying, from y'all going from having, KD, James Harden, and Kyrie, and Jordan, DeAndre Jordan, and Jordan Harris to possibly only about to have Ben Simmons. That's definitely tough within those last 3 years that y'all developed everything. So, but honestly, my personal opinion, I really feel like KD and Kyrie are going to probably still be there, because I just don't see that. I don't see no potential moves that these people want to do with Kyrie.
Yeah. New York they're asking a lot.
Everybody's asking for a lot, in my opinion. They're asking a lot for KD. They're asking a lot for Kyrie, or most people with the Lakers situation, they don't want Westbrook at all. So it's just kind of tough, to divvy out, the trades or whatever, because certain people don't want a certain player, or a certain player is making too much money, or however you want to say it. But honestly, like I said, I honestly feel like they're both of the players are still going to be with the Nets, and I still feel like the Nets. If they can pull that team back together, and like John, like John was saying, if Joe Harris can come back here healthy, and the majority of the other players that were injured this last year as well, that team could still be a top team in the East. But honestly, at the end of the day, I really feel like KD and Kyrie are still going to be with the Nets. So I don't see them going anywhere else.
Yeah, I think we all can agree. Adam Silver made a lot of great points in his statement, and I think with the next, players meeting when they talking, about these contracts and stuff. They're gonna, they're gonna crack down on it because a lot of these guys are taking advantage of. Yeah, I'm getting paid anyway. I could sit out this game, I could sit out that game, and I think them owners gonna take back some power and be like, hey, we this is a fair exchange. I'm paying you to play. I need, you got to play.
Yeah, to that point, like his contract, the even the extra things on his contract were ridiculous. Like he gets like another million just to play 53 games, like 53. That's it. And then he gets like another million to win like 40 games, like 40. Like, are you kidding me? This is Kevin Durant, man, and he is making bank off winning like minimum superstar games, right? Like 40 games for a superstar.
Only half. You get another meal for winning half.
Right, and then not even playing a third of the season, which would be about 60 to 61 games. 53 games, another mil. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like he's getting way too much. He's already getting like 30 something 40 million on the contract, plus all these extra millions for just the tiniest things. And I'm not, obviously, if you're not a superstar, these aren't tiny things. Winning 40 games is a lot to ask of someone. But when you're talking about one of the all-time greats, like, come on, man, asking him to win 40 games and giving him $1 million to do it, play 50, like those are ridiculous. Like he's just got too much power there, and they're not even barely asking anything of him.
Yeah.
Back checks.
Going from one beef to
really
another.
A beef?
Yeah, it could be. Katie, like, hey, Adam Silver, you.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the next topic. My fault.
No, I mean, think about it. They were both kind of like, oh, that's what you're doing. That's what we doing. That's what we on now. Okay, all right. I got something for you. Deion Sanders and Nick Saban seem to squash beef in Aflac commercial. Honestly, I don't really think it was a beef. I think it was just the fact that your boy called you out. It's almost like one of us getting in trouble and then we'd be like, but the other two did it. It's like, what the hell we got to do with it? That's your problem. You figured it out. You ain't me and John didn't do nothing. You figure out your problem. You the one with the problem. Me and John are fine. You figure that out. So that's really what it was. And I think Deion Sanders when he first responded, it was kind of like why are you putting me in it? You sitting real pretty up over there in Tuscaloosa. What I gotta do with your problem? You figure it out and do what you can to the best of your ability. What you got on it, Walt?
I mean, honestly, I won't necessarily say it was a beef. Question: did they make a second commercial? Because I seen the first commercial when he was talking. Y'all talking about the jacket, right? When he talking about when he got the gold.
They addressed the NIL deal or the NIL in the commercial apparently. Like so in the Affleck commercial.
I think I saw a clip of that.
Yeah. Okay, so they must have made two commercials. I mean, that must have been the second one because I only saw the first commercial. So, I mean, honestly, like I said, at the end of the day, I just felt like Nico said, it was just like, hey, why the hell did you put my name in this? I ain't got shit to do with this. So, I mean, I guess, I feel like at the end of the day, they both about to be making money off this commercial anyway. So, I mean, I can't really say it was a beef. It's not a beef. Yeah. Like, it's just. It's
really like, bro, what you eat don't make me go to the bathroom. Why are you worried?
I feel like I said, all this is just, a position of power and the whole, it's just about power in this recruiting stage stuff. You feel me? So it's just like, I feel like Nick Saban just felt like he was losing his power in the recruiting thing. So he just had something to say. So,
he's definitely feeling it. So, like they only hit dogs holler.
So
And he was feeling it. He like, oh, this is different.
Right. I think that's the thing. I think that he in a moment like did what Nico said, and he was like, well, "What about Walton John?" Right, and then if he had time, like if he wasn't caught like that, if he had time to formulate his thoughts, he probably wouldn't have done that. Yeah. Maybe he would have. We'll never know.
Hey, but Jimbo was like, "Hey,"
but Jimbo said, "This ain't never going to be over." Right?
Jimbo say, "Oh, that's the game you want to play."
Because he was calling out schools, and Jimbo took it like he was calling out him. And Dion was like,
essentially, you are, because you're the head man.
I agree. I'm not saying his take is wrong. I think all three of them are right. I think Nick Saban, I'm not saying they did the right thing, but I'm just saying, like, all three of them are saying, none of them are lying. They're all telling the truth, but, like, they just took it different ways. And so, like, Jimbo, he's, he made it clear, like, this is never going to be over. Like, I'm coming for that guy. I'm coming for all his titles, everything, whatever. Whereas Dion was like, listen, this ain't about me. I'm here to protect my school. And that's what made Dion the most respectable out of all of them was like, I can sit here and I can protect myself and say all these things, blah, 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 and throw shots back. I'm just going to protect my school and defend my school. And we're going to go forward like that. And I think that was good. That was good PR for his school.
He killed him with kindness. And I feel like that's going to be even better look for Dion too, though, honestly. So
And now like Jimbo looks like the asshole. Saban looks like the guy who's, coming up begging for mercy. And Dion's sitting there like the guy who's like, I'm the guy everyone likes. I'm everyone's friend. I'm the cool guy. Everyone wants to hang out with me. I go to the after party with Dion. And then, so where Jimbo's the angry old man, Saban's the guy who's like trying to not get canceled, whatever. So it's very interesting. But Dion is your heart. He's a genius at PR. Like, really, Dion is killing the PR thing.
But it's almost similar to, like, John being at Oklahoma in a press conference and saying, hey, the Ohio State kids looking pretty big this year. I don't think they are natural. Walt gonna be like, what the hell I got to do with you? You in the Big 12. Worry about your conference. What me and these kids doing over here, that's what. So it's like, bruh.
Pokio here.
Right, yeah, like, whoa, slow that down. Why you snitching? If they are on steroids, let them kids do what they need to do to get that bag. So, I mean, it's like, hold on. Don't call me out like that. But Jimbo, like, he almost went like an ether route. It was like, okay, that's what you want to do? All right, I got something for you.
He seems to have had some sort of beef with Nick.
He went like Tupac hit him up route, like, damn dog.
Right. It seems like he was almost looking for a reason to get mad at him. He was like,
Jimbo was like, oh, all right, that's what we doing? Bet. Wait, like, hey, he didn't say much. No. Don't worry about it. I got something for him. What you got? Don't worry about it.
I mean, Jimbo did say a lot. He
right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You've been feeling this for a while now, haven't you? This is hating your heart. It's hating your heart. So, but yeah, man, it's Jimbo want all the smoke. That Alabama A&M game this year, I don't know where it's gonna be, but it's gonna be turned. If it's in Texas, Alabama, they're gonna have boy. They ain't gonna be able to hear in that stadium. That 12 man gonna be going crazy. But sticking with the league, man. Jaylen Waddle claims he is faster than Tyreek Hill. Honestly, who cares?
I was just about to say.
All right, on to the next one.
Let's see what these stats look like. It don't matter how fast you are. If you ain't producing on the field, nobody cares. No offense. Just ask John Ross. Ran like a 4.2, went to Cincy, and you ain't heard from him. So it's like, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say, I agree. I mean, that's cool that y'all want to, had a little I guess that's the balls race. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got the bigger balls, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, who cares? I mean, at the end of the day, we just want to see y'all production on the field, man. So if
Is
it's
this
not,
winning us games?
This is my thing. Is this team is hyping themselves every day, all day, so much. Like I expect them to be good. I really do, but they better be good. You know what I mean?
It's
Because
like-
if they're not, like no one's gonna care about what thing they have to
It's
say
like
next
if
year.
you beat him in a foot race, how many wins does that accumulate?
Right?
Yeah,
like you can
that
have the
might be
biggest arm as a
cool
quarterback.
Pro Bowl week, I guess. You know what I'm saying? We
Oh,
can
man.
the year. You feel me? You know, hey,
So if
let's
you
take a
beat
break.
him in a foot race, do you automatically start the season 5-0?
Like every time they talk about like strongest arms, right? It's like Brett Favre, Jay Cutler, JaMarcus Russell, like all guys who led the league in interceptions.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like
Who cares?
and JaMarcus Russell didn't lead the league because he didn't play enough games to, but he would have if he kept playing. But I'm just saying like strongest arm don't translate into wins, right? What fastest legs don't translate into wins. Devin Hester and Dante Hall were the fastest guys. You have to find somewhere for them because they couldn't play corner, they couldn't play receiver, even though they were super fast. And so like, yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty much there's nothing really as much to say about this except for like this team better show up. They better win. Like I'm saying 11. I'm gonna say this team better win 11 games.
I'm not even expecting them to win 11 games. I'm gonna be honest.
Shoot, 11 games, you might be. Well, I don't know
I'm saying
it's
11.
enough
If they
one
win,
team.
if they're 10-7, if they make the playoffs at 10-7, maybe
It's gonna
I'll
be
give it to
tough.
them. But I'm just saying,
they honestly battling for second with New England.
I agree, but I'm just saying they won what 8 games last year or 9? They won 8 or 9 last year.
I think they won 8. Yeah,
Yeah, they won
Right,
8.
so
but they got relatively smaller at a lot of their skill positions. I think they average like 5'9" at every position.
I'll give them 10, but I think I think at 10 they can't even run their mouths. I'm saying like if they don't win 11, I don't want to hear all the talking next year. And you know what, they can do all the talking they want, but I ain't gonna
And
listen.
then you gotta think too. You gotta play in Buffalo, New England,
Yeah, they scheduled
and New York. And I don't know if they play them late in the season or it's gonna be cold as hell. But that's another, them elements, especially them fast teams, them feet gonna get numb quick. So we're gonna see. We shall see. But our next topic, fellas. Speaking of JaMarcus Russell on a recent interview of The Pivot said he was dealt a bad hand by the Raiders. Listening to his story on that episode. I mean, the NFL, they always say these pro leagues are, it's a dog eat dog league, really. And I think he found that out firsthand. But he say when, he really hit rock bottom is when, a relative of his was sick and, he just couldn't get his mind right. I think it was his uncle or something that he was real close to. And the funny thing about it, I saw a recent interview of Asante Samuel, and he was saying when he was in Philly, he had the same problem. Yeah, I think his mother had like ALS or something. And the team pretty much was like, hey, we need you back here. He like, bro, what part of my mother is sick? What are you not understanding about it? And they just was like, hey, we'll fly you there and back every night, or we'll fly you right after practice and pick you up from the airport, whatever. And it's just, hearing both of their stories, it's like they pretty much want you to figure it out. They like, look, this ain't our problem. And it's unfortunate that these human beings are thinking that way. But I could see how he was dealt a bad hand. They want to say, hey, he didn't perform to his capacity or to the best of his capabilities. But if someone close to you is dying or sick, somebody that was your superhero or you looked up to as a kid, that can weigh a lot on you. So yes, you're not thinking about, although this is your job, you're not thinking about it. So I could see how he was dealt a bad hand. What about you, John?
Um, so I agree with you in a sense. Like for the most part, yeah, right. Like in theory, we would all like to be able to take time off, but like when a relative is sick and needs us and all that stuff. But like my job's never let me take off for my uncle. You know what I mean? Like it had to be like
That's true.
my wife or my dad or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they weren't like, oh yeah, you can have a week or two off because your uncle. Like so, you know, that's every job. I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong. I'm just saying like that's everybody. You're not alone in that. And then my other thoughts are like, he had certain addictions and all that stuff and whatever, and he was struggling dealing with them. But also, like every Browns player knows what he's going through too. When he talks about like they expected me to win games, but like there was no talent around me, and I'm sitting there thinking that's what happens when you get drafted number one or overall. That's what Trevor Lawrence. We just saw a terrible season from Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, a guy who was supposed to be the next Peyton Manning or John Elway or whatever. Like it was not fun to watch but you believe in him that he can turn this team around with time. Now, you can argue that the Raiders never with time got him pieces, but I mean, you had other quarterbacks who were much less talented than him when he was sitting out that would come in and win games. So they were they were like they still didn't win many, but they won more when he was not quarterback than with him. So it's there's a lot to debate with that. You could argue strength of schedule, all that stuff. I'm not going to get onto that. But, like, that's an expectation when you're drafting number one overall. Like, listen, our team is trash. Turn it around. We're not saying Super Bowl next year, but, like, turn this team around. So, I mean, again, he's not alone in that either. Every Browns quarterback knows what that means, right? Like, you're handed a garbage hand, like, because you got drafted number one overall because they believe in you. So, I appreciate and I'm glad he's telling his story. Who's the guy that Kwame Brown? Whether you agree with him or not, I'm glad he's telling his side of the story now, all these years later. Like I'm glad these guys are doing this.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say one thing, and this isn't a shot at him, but I'm gonna say one thing. He said that his life is a movie and deserves a movie, and movies aren't written about guys who struggled and had addictions and didn't succeed. You know what I mean? They're written about like I want his story to be out because I think somebody out there can learn from it. I think it's a good story, and I think a lot of coming up players could learn. Like, listen, these are things that can you could be on top of the world one day and then on the bottom tomorrow if you don't handle these situations, and you understand that the league is not. They don't have you in mind. You're not their number one priority. Like they have, the league, the shield is the priority. So you got to keep that in mind. Like, yeah, they don't care about you. Like, unless you're making money for them, they don't care about you. So I think his is a good story and it needs to be told and maybe it'll get a book or something. But I'm not going to, and again, it's not a shot at him, but I'm not going to go watch a movie about a guy who had addictions and his family struggles and all that stuff. And then in the end, was 50 pounds overweight sitting on his couch at the end of the movie. Like, that's not a movie. So I don't know what he thinks is, like a movie is. But I mean, yeah, I enjoyed listening to it. I really did. I think he had very insightful stuff. But, it's a bummer the way it turned out because he had so much talent. I will say one thing, last thing before I go out, because I don't like it when people – set up sting ops for people. Now, listen, that doesn't mean he shouldn't have lied. He was still lying because apparently that story is true, right? It's always been the story that they handed him a tape, DVD, said, go watch this tape, come back, tell us tomorrow. He came back the next day and was like, oh, yeah, the defense, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, that CD's blank, right? I don't like it I think police shouldn't be able to do that. I don't like what people do with their kids. You buy a noisy cookie jar so you catch the kid sneaking cookies. Like, I don't like that stuff. Like, listen, man, if you catch the kid, you should discipline them, but like you shouldn't be running a sting op on your kids and stuff. I don't like that stuff, but You can't, but you still did lie about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not innocent in this either. So I agree. Like, I don't think the Raiders handled it properly, but it's not like he actually was honest with the team and upfront with the team ever. So I don't know. It's a bummer, but I did enjoy listening to his story.
Well, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I agree with both you guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about a business, man. It's either like John was saying, either you gonna work for me and show up, or not, or I can fire you for not showing up. And pretty much, I mean, I won't say they fired him, but I mean, bro didn't show up. So I mean, you went from having probably one of the best college football careers. That 1 year, I should say, I think he had like 28 touchdown passes or something, and like only like 6 interceptions or 8 interceptions or something like that. And but yeah, like John was saying, bro, like you're dealt that. I can't really say you were dealt a bad hand because, bro, you're the number 1 pick for a reason. You're going into a bad situation already, so it's like you have to. It's pretty much a process that you have to take within these years. I know it's not going to happen 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, maybe 5. But at the end of the day, bro, they were paying you big money, big time money to be a number 1 quarterback for a Raiders team, which I say wasn't the best. But I mean, I don't really feel like he gave them the chance to, bring in pieces either. So at the end of the day, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's tough that you lost your uncle or whoever it was that Nico said that he was, but at the end of the day, I'm paying you.
To that point, he didn't even lose him. He just got sick, right?
Yeah, I think he got cancer.
Yeah, and that's a terrible.
And my thing is, if I'm in that situation, I want to use that as motivation anyway. You feel me? So it's like, okay, my dad might have cancer or uncle might have cancer. Shit, you're going to need money to pay for them hospital bills, bro. Regardless, you know what I'm saying? I hate to look at it that way, but I mean, why not use that as your motivation to be like, okay, this person is sick, blase, skip. I got to do what the hell I need to do to make sure that, hey, I'm good, he's good, the family's good. If, something happens, funeral service, whatever. But, I mean, I definitely don't think he deserves a movie. I mean, he can definitely tell his story of telling these young players what not to do, of course not, your first year. And, but other than what he's doing right now, I really don't feel like he deserves much. I mean, I feel like you just gave up, bro. Like you let the media control your path. Honestly, let's be real. You let the media control your path. So
I mean, there was another thing he said. He said that they were fining him for being overweight, and he didn't appreciate that. But that's another thing is like, did you not read your contract? Like
no,
that had to be in your contract.
Well,
I really think this guy. Nobody did it.
He said they were finding him for stuff that he didn't know about. He said he was getting fined for being late to breakfast or something like that.
So hang on. So he was getting fined for being overweight because he had to weigh in. He had to weigh in after breakfast. So then he stopped weighing in at breakfast and would tell him, "Oh, I forgot to." So they would fine him for forgetting to, and again, maybe he did forget, but I'm sorry, like you're getting paid to do this.
It seemed like they were being petty.
It seems like I said, I think it was both ways. Because he did come in way overweight. That had to be in his contract. I'm sorry, like there's no way that wasn't in his contract. So I don't think if he didn't know, then he didn't read his contract. Like I really think, and he says it. He says there's guys who sit there and watch 12 hours of tape, and I can go out there and whoop them. I don't need to because I'm good enough to beat them, and that's fine. I'll give him that. But I think that he really believed that with everything he did. He just trusted his guys to handle his contract, his agent to handle his contract. He never read nothing. He didn't watch tape. He didn't do. He admitted these things. He didn't do these things. He just wanted to go out and play football, and I get that. That's fine. But like, this is how a lot of NFL players get scammed out of money. And other things by dirty agents. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you're really looking out for your life, man, you got to know these things. And it just seemed like he just wanted to play football. And by the way, we all do. I would love to just play football. But, it's at some point, man, you got to focus on, you got to pay attention to other things in life. And it didn't seem like he was.
Yeah, I think it's both ways. I think
I agree. I mean,
the
yeah.
Raiders were being petty, and he just was a young kid that didn't know what he was getting into.
I'm about to say
Because
it's just
nothing in life can prepare you to be a starting quarterback for the in the NFL. Nothing.
Agree.
So I think it was just one of them things.
you can say that, but I feel like he also didn't give it time for him to even develop into becoming, you know what I'm saying,
That too.
a leader or a starting
And
quarterback for that.
he even said the year he got drafted, they traded Randy Moss. So he didn't even get a chance to, at least throw a pass to Randy Moss. Who's to say, that couldn't have went, that couldn't have been something, a professional he can rely on.
Yeah, but Randy wasn't staying with them even if they brought Tom
I'm
Brady
just
in. Like,
saying in
he was
general.
out.
I'm
But no,
just,
I
I'm just saying,
agree with you. I agree. We'll never know, but
because you hear it a lot all the time. A lot of these basketball players and football players, they always talk about, yeah, so and so really showed me how to be a pro. You go from being a man in college to now you another guy. You need help. Simple as that. You don't know what you don't know because nothing can prepare you for it. I think LeBron might be probably the only guy that came into the league at 18 and has succeeded ever since. And you
with the
ain't heard
pressure
him.
that with the amount of pressure that was already on him.
He might be, and he might be the only one forever because you ain't never heard about him in those sexual scandals, gambling, cheating, drunk driving. Like, he's like the model. Look, if you want to be all pro, Hall of Fame, best of the best, and not get in trouble, he's the model citizen. He's the standard. So, I don't know if people need to talk to him more or, figure that shit out.
Right, he
But,
should write a book.
talk
If
to
anyone,
somebody.
if anyone should be writing a book, it's probably LeBron James.
True. But switching gears here to the competitive part of the show. Fellas, who is your top 5 quarterbacks for this upcoming NFL season? We're gonna start with you, brother Walt. What you got?
Are we
Let's just
doing
do number. Yeah, let's do number 5. We'll go around. Do number 5.
doing number 5, or are we just gonna do one by one?
Yeah. Do number 5, and we'll go up from there.
All right. I didn't really have a specific order for mine, but
Never mind. Just never mind. Just drop one of them. My bad.
but I mean, I just say, like I said, I don't really have a specific order for mine, but I just say one of my quarterbacks I expect to have a great year next year is definitely going to be Josh Allen. Like I said, he was probably like one game short. What?
No, I'm just laughing. You probably know why I'm laughing, but I'm just laughing. Go ahead.
I mean, but no, I mean, really expected them to have a big season. Honestly, like I said, the Bills, they added a lot of key pieces last year. They still have pretty much offensive core. So, like I said, I think they was only like one game away from the championship game, or I think it was AFC championship.
Conference championship. Yep.
So they was only one game away. So I feel like this is his year to get over that hump and to go to the Super Bowl. So the Bills are actually my Super Bowl pick next year.
What you got, John?
I guess I'll go with the obvious choice, Pat Mahomes. I really do think that him and John Sherman Smith Schuster are going to get it done this year. I really do believe that he can revive that guy's career. I think
You just
Travis
say my
Kelce.
man whole name though. Damn,
listen.
dog, you bogus.
Listen. What was it called? Juju every time. Listen. At some point you got to grow.
I'm like, who the hell is John Smith Schuster?
I'm just saying, like, I do believe that Pat Mahomes is going to get back to, because he's the last, maybe 10, 11 games of the season, Pat Mahomes is probably the best quarterback, second, best quarterback in the league. The first, 5 games where he led the league in interceptions, something like that, I think he had 10 or something through 5 games or something like that. I don't know what it was, but that was an anomaly. So I really do think, and even without Tyreek, I think we're going to get back to maybe 38-7 Pat Mahomes or something. I would like to see him go for 40 again. That's starting to look like that 50 touchdown season was an anomaly, but let's hope not. So I'm going to say Pat Mahomes. Who you got?
My number 5.
Or just one of your 5?
Brady. Gonna be interesting to see how he looks without Gronk, AB, and Godwin. And it's gonna be interesting to see how Russell Gage, if I'm butchering it, my fault.
Yeah, Gage.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they, incorporate him into that offense, because it's gonna be him and Mike Evans them first couple, probably at least the first 10, 12 weeks. And then you lose OJ Howard to Buffalo. I think that's another, problem. And I think it'd just be on Cameron Brate from the looks of it. If he's not there, excuse me, but it's gonna be interesting to see how he approaches this. I think this might be Brady's greatest test, man. You done lost your 2, your 3, and your 4. And, hopefully, Mike Evans can still be Mike Evans. I know they're going, probably do a lot of, man over, man under. But it's going to be interesting to see how he approaches this season. Who's your number 4, John?
I got Derek Carr, man. I think the season we saw from Matt Stafford last season, I think we're going to get it from Derek Carr. I think I dropped Matt Stafford out of my top 5 for Derek Carr. I really think that Derek Carr is going to have that season that we always believed he could have. And same, like I said, just like we saw with Matt Stafford last year, where he finally had that season. It's like, oh, this is what we thought he could do. Just he never could with the team he had, even though he had one of the greatest receivers of all time, which makes no sense. But
stop the cap. Stop.
But no, but I'm just saying, like, we all knew Matt Stafford was capable of that.
Him and Megatron went on. They couldn't do nothing because it was just him and Megatron. Let's be honest.
But I mean, he did have like a 5,000-yard season, and he did a lot of stuff in Detroit. So I mean, we knew he had the talent.
He was scoring 40 and giving up 49.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, I believe this is Derek Carr's season. I really think that this is the year that we see what he's capable of, and because this isn't like these guys haven't played together. Him and Devontae know each other, so this is nothing new to them. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
Who you got, Walt?
Yeah, I was about to say my number. I guess my number 4 is Patrick Mahomes. Just based off of what John was saying, I'm interested to see how he's going to do without Tyreek. He still has some of his key pieces. You know what I'm saying? Kelsey and like he said, Juju Smith. So those are some big pieces to still have. But I mean, you don't have your cheetah, as everybody want to say. So I'm still just seeing how he's going to capitalize on the deep balls and stuff like that. See if their offensive schemes are going to change up a little bit now that Tyreek's not there. So, say my number 4 is Patrick.
Number 4, Mr. Allen, Josh Allen, that is, quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. I want to see how he bounces back after that loss. Because he didn't get a chance to touch the ball. So I think, that has been something that really stuck in his craw all off season. They have, they got the team. They got the team they need. They done added Von Miller to be that pass rusher for them, get to that quarterback when they need him. So it's going to be interesting to see how, how he performs, especially in the playoffs. Because I think, this time around, he's going to do what it takes to win that game, or, hopefully the defense can do what they need to do for him to get the ball back. And that Josh Allen. That's my number 4. All right, Walt, who's your number 3?
I'll say my number 3 is probably going to be Russell Wilson. I'm interested to see how he's going to, be in a new city. You know what I'm saying? Getting that new start, being in actually going back to having a good defense again, just like how he had his first couple of years with the Legion of Boom. So I'm definitely pretty interested to see, what he's going to do with the new team. Like I said, new system and stuff like that. So I don't think he really has too many offensive weapons with Denver, but with Russell being Russell, I still feel like he can make something happen with with the guys that he has. Because he's made something happen with less. So, yeah, I would be my number 3. I'm just interested to see how he's going to do in that new system.
What you got, John?
Oh man, obviously. So again, this is just my top 5. This is in order. But Aaron Rodgers, I believe that Aaron Rodgers has one more. I mean, he's got some great seasons left, but I definitely think he has one more top 5 guaranteed season in him. And I have to put him there at number 3.
Number 3, Mahomes. I want to see, how he bounces back after that tough loss at home to Cincy. Cincy came in, they were down. Cincy was down, Kansas City was up early, and they pretty much took Tyreek Hill out the game and made Pat. He had to make a lot of tough throws. That defense got after. So it's going to be interesting to see how, what Mecole Hardman can do, what Juju can do. Can those guys step up? Kelsey's going to do Kelsey. He's going to make plays. And, and that defense. Can that defense, not give up 49 when Pat scores 42? They had a lot of blown coverages last year. Sorensen, he's out of there now, but, it's going to be interesting to see how, that team comes together, after the way they lost. But my number 2, Joe Burrow.
Ooh.
I want to see how he, it'll be his 3rd year. See if he has a junior year slump. He didn't have a sophomore slump, but he could have a junior slump. That Super Bowl hangover. Let's see, how him and Jamar Chase, can they keep on that trajectory? And just how he looks. Can you keep up this performance? Because now you went from the hunter to being the hunted now. Even in your own division. It's gonna be tough to get out, that AFC North, man. You got Pittsburgh twice, Baltimore twice, that team, the dog pound, whatever they think. You got them twice.
Your ass, Joe.
You got them twice. So, I think that division is gonna be the black and blue division for real. Because you got great fronts. You got Watt in Pittsburgh. You got Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney in Cleveland. And then, Baltimore, they just produce them every year. And that's something people don't say about Baltimore. They produce some great D linemen, especially them rush ends. Seem like every year they producing somebody. They got the kid out of Michigan. It's going to be interesting to see how he can perform. But it's going to be tough for Burrow and them if they can keep up. If they can get 12, 13 wins, possibly home field advantage, they might be a problem. And when you got to go to Cincinnati, you can rest, and you got to go to Cincinnati, especially for those warm weather teams. Might be tough. Who's your number 2, John?
I want Lamar Jackson, but I'm going to stick with Dak. I really think Dak Prescott's going to be top 5. I got Dak Prescott, and like you were saying, man, like this top 4, we did a Mount Rushmore. It literally could be like the AFC East, like Wilson, Carr, Mahomes, and Herbert. Like that 4 right there. That's not the black and blue division, but that's the quarterback division right there. That division.
It's going to be a lot of points scored in those games.
Yeah,
I think.
But I think Dak
I think
Prescott.
all of them games going to be high scoring.
Yeah,
35-42, something crazy.
But yeah, I got Dak Prescott in my top 5 for sure.
Okay. Who's your number 2?
I was gonna go with Dak, but I ain't want to give Skip too much credit on this one. So, but I'm gonna just go. Aaron Rodgers, just based off him losing Devontae Adams. He pretty much, I think he got Lazard. I think I'm bombing his name.
Yeah,
I think
Adam Lazard. You got
Adam Lazard. I think that's his main. His main quarter. I mean, I say quarterback. Main.
Well, he got Sammy Watkins too now.
He do got Sammy Watkins.
Yeah,
he does.
So,
but Sammy Watkins hasn't really been producing like I expect him to.
True.
But he, not saying that Patrick Mahomes wasn't a good quarterback, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I feel like he could possibly produce a little bit better with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? With probably one of the top accurate quarterbacks in the league right now. So, I'll say my number 2 is just Aaron Rodgers, just based off of him losing his top tier wide receiver, and I just want to see if he's still going to be able to still show out in the regular season, but not really get it done in the playoffs, I should say. So.
All right, who's your number 1?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll say Justin Herbert, the Chargers. I'm expecting some big things from him too this year. Like I said, I think they added a few more pieces as well on the defensive side. So I think they were maybe I think they was a play away from making the next game of the playoffs or whatever. Yeah. So Justin Herbert, that's probably my number 1. Even though I probably should have switched those around with him and Allen, but like I said, mine didn't really have a specific order for real. So Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Who's your number 2, John?
Is it gonna be Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, maybe Allen, maybe Herbert? Nah.
Just spit it out.
The guy with the number 1 receiver in the league. I think this is the year the Kirk Cousins.
I get that.
Is top 5. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I believe the Vikings probably win.
Take us out.
I believe the Vikings probably win 12 or 13 games this year. Justin Jefferson is by far the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL right now. I think we're going to see a resurgence in yardage from Adam Thielen that we haven't seen in a while. He's still a heavy touchdown factor. He's been
better than Cooper?
Who? Cooper Kupp? Yes, it's not even close. No. I'm taking. If I'm building a team tomorrow, I'm taking Justin Jefferson hands down. It's not close.
Damn.
I'm sorry. That's like asking me if I want Randy Moss or Wes Welker because Wes Welker had more yards than him. Come on, man. More yards, catches.
I'm no disrespect to Justin Jefferson. I mean, I'm just saying, but Kupp, that's
the talent, the
guaranteed yards right there, bro.
No. Cooper Kupp is that guy who gets you 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Justin Jefferson, he's a guy who will have 80 and then 220 the next game, and then 150, and then. But that's because people double and triple team him. Ain't no one double and triple teaming Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is the Luka Doncic of the NFL. He is amazing. He's great, but no one's double teaming that dude. I'm sorry. It's just so.
I was about to say because the boy putting up damage, bro. I'm just saying.
That's a good point, but I'm just saying if Justin Jefferson got the same coverage that Cooper Kupp got, the man will probably go for 2,000. I'm not even lying. But Justin Jefferson, for me, is by far the best receiver in the league. And I think we're about to see maybe a 38 touchdown, 10 interception season from Kirk Cousins. I really believe the Vikings might win that division this year. So I got Kirk Cousins in my top 5 this year.
Okay.
I know I'm supposed to say Allen and Herbert and all that, and I'm a huge Joe Burrow fan. Joe Burrow is my favorite quarterback in the league, but I can't
say Burrow or Lamar because they both in my division. So I want them to have a shitty ass season.
Nico, who's your last one?
I'm still shocked you said Kirk Cousins.
Is his time?
Hey, we'll run this tape back at the end of the season.
We can, but goddamn. My number 1 is John, you might like this. It's Sam Bradford. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, what league are we talking about? I thought we're talking NFL now.
No.
I'm saying Baker Mayfield.
Oh, hell no. No. No, but for real though, Georgia Bulldog, man, Matt Stafford. He just came off the Super Bowl. They signed Cooper Kupp to money, big money. Sign Aaron Donald. You get Odell, that remains to be seen. But I think a big steal for them was getting Allen Robinson from the Bears. Now he's finally on a team with a quarterback that he knows he's gonna see 16, 17 weeks out the year. That can get him the ball because I think he's gonna have a lot of one-on-one opportunities.
A lot.
Make it happen. Because if you ain't productive, they're gonna blame you. It's gonna be like, bro, you ain't making it happen. You said Chicago was the problem. Not you. That's the problem in LA. So I think, hey, Matt Stafford, you gotta come out swinging now, baby. You gotta show why they traded for you. Can you keep up this excellence, so to say? And it's gonna be an interesting season for the Rams. Is he gonna be the quarterback he was this past year, or is he gonna be Matt Stafford of old? Not playing to his best of his capabilities. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of it is going off of what I see going forward and what I saw at the end of last season. Matt Stafford, 8 interceptions in the last 4 games. I know they won Super Bowl.
Man, relax.
I get that. He won Super Bowl. I get that.
He did enough.
But I'm just saying, just because your defense got better doesn't mean your quarterback is going to be better. And that's why, for me, when I see the Bills, when the moves they made, I see the Chargers, the moves they made, I see the Rams, the moves they made. I think their offenses didn't get better. Right, their defenses got better. Their offenses stayed the same, or maybe even lost a player or two.
I got Allen Robinson with Odell.
That's true, but I'll take Odell over Allen Robinson. But I'm just saying.
I mean, of course, who wouldn't? But still.
But I'm just saying, when I look at teams that got better, I really think that I think Dallas got better. I think they're getting older. You get young guys are getting older. Justin Jefferson's going to be older, not a year better. Jamar Chase is going to be better next year. Like, that's going to be Joe Burrow. That's why he's going to be a top 5, probably. Not in my top 5, but he arguably top 5, just because of that. Like, when you start to see receivers get into their 3rd year, man, like, that's like a lot of receivers' best years.
For who?
For a lot of receivers, a lot of the greats. Like, they're like 3rd and 4th year were like their best years. I mean, that's where they were. They were still uninjured. They didn't have that big injury yet, and so I think we're going to see big stuff from Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, guys like that. So I really think Joe Burrow and Kirk are going to have big years because of that.
Did y'all hear about switching gears real quick before we do what we do? Did y'all hear about Leonard Fournette coming in the training camp like 30 pounds overweight? They say he came in at 260. They say his usual band weight is like 225.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Maybe trying to get that bulky weight up.
No, you don't need that much of both. You gotta be slim and trim so you can make them cuts. Or that knee gonna give out.
Yeah, unless you come in as that player, like, and they know what you are. You know what I mean? You're Bettis. Who's the guy in Minnesota? Memphis, the Grizzlies, the big guy playing undrafted.
Even Adams?
No, big round dude.
Talk about his last name is Lofton. I can't remember.
Yeah, Lofton. Like, if you come in like that, you know what I mean? Like, you know what they are, you know their game, whatever. But if you don't come in like that and you start putting on pounds, I mean, they're gonna have a lot of questions.
It's gonna be hard to try to lose that weight by what? The first Sunday in August? I mean, in September?
Yeah.
You're gonna be dog ass tired trying to work all that weight off with 5 weeks before the season starts.
Yeah, that's what they paying them trainers for, man. Pay your trainers to get you back.
Hey, you should have paid the trainers to keep you in shape.
They do, man. They got dietitians, trainers.
So how the hell you gain 30 pounds?
Chefs, doctors, everything. You got the best.
What?
He had to get lazy.
You can't afford it. Tom, like, hey, what the hell?
I mean, we talk about this guy all the time. Like guys who rely, they're so talented that they rely on their talent. That you never see their game improve from year to year. You know what I mean? They start out great, and then they just little by little, this isn't a shot, but Carmelo Anthony is one of those guys.
That's a shot. No, I'm just
all right. But every year, right? He's so great that like he can almost, and he's in the gym. I'm not saying he's in the gym, but he ain't. I don't, we've never seen him bulk up like Giannis or LeBron or none of them dudes. Like
he's not a workout warrior,
right? He's not in the gym like them. So like. Little by little, we see him every year. He goes from 28 points a game to 27 to 26. And in 10 years, he's down to like 17 points a game, which is still amazing for the NBA. I mean, if I could average 17 points a game, that I would love that, right? But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of those guys, you know what I mean? And sometimes we see them give it all up in 1 year, man. And Leonard Fournette seems to have done that. He seems to have just checked out. So hopefully he can figure something out. But, yeah.
Yeah. Walt, do your thing, my brother.
Oh, well, appreciate y'all joining Real Deal Sports tonight. It's your boy Big Walt, my boy Nico Suave, looking suave to the mofo. My boy John, the hardest working man in showbiz right now. We appreciate y'all watching us tonight. Make sure y'all like, share. This motherfucker over here, man. I cannot understand. Make sure y'all like, share, and comment. And hey, we appreciate y'all joining Real Deal Sports. Tell everybody about us. If y'all want to chime in as well, make sure y'all comment below. We always respond no matter what. I think we're at 47 now, so we're climbing by the.
Hey man, hey, for all you viewers, let your side chick know so she can subscribe.
Man, look.
If we're not talking to you,
I ain't gonna lie. Our subscribers is pissing me off because between the three of us, just hear me out. Between the three of us,
okay.
I got like 800 friends. John got like almost 1,000 or more. You got like almost 1,000 or more. Why the hell do we only have 47 people watching this shit? Y'all acting fake, and y'all about to piss me off.
Hey, I appreciate like the 22 to 25 that don't know us. Like, you know what I mean? Like those ones, they didn't pity subscribe. Like I appreciate them. But yeah,
all I'm saying is we need to be having more support than what the hell we got right now. To people that's saying that they watching us or sharing whatever, I feel like they bullshit because it's be nowhere in hell we only got 47, bro. I'm sorry. I'm putting it out there. I don't give a damn. But I appreciate y'all joining us tonight. The people that is watching, continue to watch. But we need more. I'm sorry. Love y'all.
Yeah.